Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Good evening, Little Masters. I'm Alan, the man of the West, and welcome back to the Prancing Pony Podcast Plays. From Lego to Lotro, from cards to computers, this is the place to be to game in Gondor, roll dice in Dunlin, build in Bag End, let loose in Lorien, show off in the Shire, and to relax in Rohan. And I'm sure I'll eventually have that memorized. For now, though, that's really the only scripted element of the thing. You know how it goes. I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do tonight. And in fact, I'm going to actually see, I don't know how to do this through my app. So I'm going to just ask for just a few opinions. Maybe I can go onto YouTube real quick and see about starting a poll. But as you know, those of you who were here last time know that I was not able to complete the Gandalf and Balrog Lego kit. And to me, well, I thought, well, do I finish that, or do I do what I said I was going to do and open the Games Workshop Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim Battle for Edoras? So let me see. I'm going to hop onto YouTube real quick and see if I can create a poll. All right. Aha, yes. Start a poll. Ask a question. All right. All right. And the poll exists. I don't know that I can do that on Twitch as well, so we'll have to see. Indeed, I am feeling a lot better, so thank you all. That said, back to 100% health for myself. I can't say the same for my family, so I am keeping an eye out for an update from my family on that front. It is possible that I may have to leave. So hopefully, if that happens, I'll be able to give you a little bit of a heads up. In the meantime, let me also turn on the chat overlay so that you all can see comments from folks. I needed to there we go. Looks like that's working. Good evening, everybody. And yes, I've been able to get the music to work here in my streaming app. So that's good, and I'm super happy to hear that again. And a big thanks to Phil again, who recorded our opening and closing themes from the PPP on his mandolin for the TTT, and I just decided to use that for this. So thank you, name who I shall not attempt to kill Ariel. I'll have to see about that on Twitch, but I think most of our viewers tonight are on YouTube. Katie, if you could just confirm that. And of course, anybody who is on Twitch and I haven't created a poll, just shout out, which you'd prefer. But just a reminder for those of you who weren't with me, last week we built this little guy. And why is that not working? Why am I having a hard time with the focus? Okay, there we go. That's supposed to work a little better than that. Let's see, focus. Center weighted. Anyway, there it was. Okay. Fly, you fools. So that was a lot of fun. But of course, the Balrog calls. I did have, I can't remember who asked, but last week I was asked to show previous Games Workshop paint jobs so that you all could know what to expect when I start to paint. Caveat, these are over a decade old. I am nowhere near that level of skill again. So what you're about to see is not representative of my current skill set. But if I switch on the, let's see, how do I do this? Oh, there we go. Switch cameras. Okay. So this is, if I bring him up, a gray knight that I painted, many years ago. Um, so that's an example, and you can see that I'm all right with the metallics. I'm pretty good with the basing. Highlights okay. Faces are terrible. So we'll see what I'm able to do with the minis that I have coming forward. But that was, yeah, here's a little bit of an example of the highlighting that you can see as well. So there we go. So not terrible, not awful, but also not great. So anyway, fun army to play the Grey Knights for those who play 40K. I like that they basically, you can field a 1,500 point army with about 10 models. So all right, let's take a look at the chat here. See if anybody, I know I got to figure out the focusing before on that. Just taking a look and seeing. Oh, and Discord. All right. And Katie, since you're doing the moderation again this evening, I do have our chat window open in the corner. So if you see anything that I missed, please be sure to bring it to my attention there. Even between the two in terms of watchers, a few more. Okay, okay. Oh, I cannot wait to start doing some painting. It's going to be so much fun. And I've got all new supplies. I'm really excited to get into that. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Do we have a poll going right now? We've got two. I mean, maybe it's my guess. If 67% say finish the balrog, that means two people have voted yes and one no, or maybe 4-2. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It shouldn't take long because this time around, I'm not under the influence of Benadryl as I was the last time. That was really bad. All right. Let's set up that other camera. Let's get this show on the road. There we go. All right. A few changes to the camera setup this time around to try to get in a little bit tighter. I think before it was just a little too distant. In the meantime, we'll leave Gandalf here for. Oh, I know the problem. Somehow that camera is set to mirror. Let me fix that. Oh, I can't fix that. That seems rather odd. Well, there's a mystery for me. Oh, I bet it's set that way here. Video settings. That's what it is. Boom. That's why every time I was trying to move that Gray Knight, I felt like I was moving somebody else's hand. All right. We're going to leave Gandalf here up in the corner as a little bit of inspiration. Do we leave him hat? No. We got to leave his face up. There we go. All right. And taking a look at the chat before I catch up, before I get going. Well, if you've got a hat to finish knitting, is it going to be a Gandalf hat? That's all I want to know. All right. The balrog. We shall build him without wings, so I suspect it will be faster. All right. And as usual, we start with piling these guys out and sorting them by color, because that's just who I am. Ooh, tiny pieces. I'll leave Gandalf over here just as a reminder. Okay. So how's everybody doing tonight? Any questions? Any excitement for what you're going to see next when we start doing more things? Of course, it comes with wings. They should have come with metaphorical wings, but Lego's still working on making things metaphorical. All right, just sorting all the little pieces. But this is a good, maybe next time I'll have these sorted. Certainly the Rivendell one, my goodness, that's going to be complicated. That's going to be a fun build. I might actually have to set up like 3 cameras for that monstrosity. Okay, so there's some pieces here. All right. Lots of black, I assume, for the balrog, since he's got wings of shadow. You hear me, Lego? You hear me, Peter Jackson? They're wings of shadow. They're not actual wings. I am okay with people who think they actually have wings. I mean, they're wrong, but I'm okay with those people. They're still good people. You can be a Tolkien fan and believe the Balrogs have wings. Who am I to say otherwise? I am but a humble podcaster. Okay. Please explain what is happening here. Right now, I am sorting Lego bits so that I can build the Lego Balrog. So last week, I built the Lego Gandalf, you see. And he says, "You shall not pass." But unfortunately, he was just talking to himself because the Balrog wasn't there yet. What do I have planned for these live streams? Good question, David. So basically, there's going to be a mix of things, and I mean a mix. There's going to be so many things to choose from. Um, Half the time, I will do tabletop stuff like this. So it'll be building Legos, it will be building and painting the Games Workshop minis for the Lord of the Rings tabletop game. It might be playing the Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle Earth, Magic the Gathering, and eventually, of course, the one I'm looking forward to the most is the One Ring tabletop role playing game, putting together a campaign and running that. And then the other half will be video games, streaming video games. So Lord of the Rings Online, Return to Moria, Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor, all of that fun stuff. So tons and tons to do. Ooh, a Lego Shadowfax. That would be fun. All right. David, I hope that answered your question. But if you still have questions, let me know. That's what I'm here for. Oh, this is so cool. I think these are whips. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, those should be fun. All right. So many pieces. This guy seems a little more complicated than Gandalf was. A Balrog penguin art piece. Okay. Almost done with the hardest part of the sorting here. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, here to answer any and all questions. Um, have I played Journeys in Middle Earth before? That actually is going to be a new adventure, and I'm so looking forward to it. I've heard nothing but really, really good things about that, and I am just thrilled. And once again, I've noticed this camera's on mirror as well. Let me fix that. Um, let me change that. I don't know why that defaults. Nope. No, we're good. Okay, that one's not on mirror. All right. So I have not played Journeys in Middle Earth yet. Very much looking forward to it. And I know a couple people who have not played it yet either that I'm looking forward to seeing if I can convince them to play with me, including perhaps a former co host on the show. And that's as far as I'm going, Katie. Don't worry. Not going to name any names, mostly because I haven't said yes yet. I am pretty close to being able to say that I'm going to be able to play Magic the Gathering with somebody. That'll be a lot of fun. Okay, colors all separated. Let's see if there's anything else. Do I think I'm going to get Tales of the Shire? I will absolutely get Tales of the Shire. Um, I normally don't pre-order games on Steam, and really, even if there is a pre-order bonus, because I just don't do that anymore. Been burned one too many times. But Tales of the Shire is on my wish list, and so it'll tell me the day it launches, and I can pick it up, play around with it, and then show it here on the stream on PPP Plays. All right, let's see if there's anything else. Yeah. Volunteering as tribute. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate that. All right. Let's go ahead and get started then. My goodness, there's a lot of pieces on this board. So we're going to start with a 4x4. One of these. And then it looks like this and this. Now, of course, watching me build Legos is going to be incredibly boring. So ask me questions. We'll chat. We'll talk about all sorts of things. More on Monday to Thursday starting next month, so we don't conflict with Formula One. That's a fair question, Phil. Friday nights. I mean, I typically don't watch as much of practice as I should. I typically just watch the practice highlights on Saturday before quali. So you can pretty much be assured that I won't have streams that conflict with qualifying sessions or race sessions. And let's see. So then I got to get two of these little tiny ones. Let's see what we're building here. Phil, were you here when I turned the stream on? Did you know that I used your mandolin music as a little opening? Okay, so here's where we're at so far after step 3. Step 4. And then step 5. I don't actually know if there's a multiplayer component. I haven't watched any of the like pre-release videos or anything like that. I won't be surprised if there is. It would be odd if there wasn't. But I don't have a confirmation only because I haven't looked for it. This is odd. It says I need 2 of these, and yet there is only one. There can be only one. That's not good if that's the case. Am I already missing a piece this early in the build? Come on, Lego. That's not supposed to have. Ah, there it is. Aha. Almost always the case that when I think there's a missing piece, there's not. I just haven't looked hard enough. All right. Oh, well, hello. Why did that happen? Pardon me for a moment. Now, I thought I fixed that. In fact, I specifically went into the camera settings to turn off the auto power off function. So, unfortunately, that's not the kind of thing that you can test very well without running it for a half an hour. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. What's the next piece? So, I've got one of these and 2 more of these tiny little ones. So, I'm thinking about another fun little idea here on the PPP Plays. And tell me what you think about this. I'm excited. It wouldn't be on the live streams. I'm thinking about doing, and again, because of alliteration, I've actually ended up taking a name that I think other people have used, but Matham Mondays, where on Mondays I would release an unboxing video of some kind, either a book or a Weta sculpture or some fun piece of merch. So, yeah, let me know what you think. That might be a lot of fun to do. Mostly because if I don't, there's just I'll have to open everything. How big is the balrog supposed to be when I'm done? That's a good question, Sam. Here is a picture of the box. Oh, let's try it right side up. There we go. And Gandalf is this big. Okay, he's about yay tall. So I am thinking the balrog's a little wider, but probably about the same height. So roughly that big, but maybe a little wider. All right. Am I going to do a Valentine's Day special on Baron and Luthien? You know, the funny thing is, I've been recording on First Stage Fridays, the tale or the lay of Baron and Luthien, the lay of Lathian, I should say, and it's been a fantastic experience. I've loved every second of it. But ironically, the Valentine's Day reading, it's not really a special. It's the it's the portion of the story in which Morgoth reveals what a disgusting pervert he is. And we really get a glimpse at what he intends for Luthien. So it's sort of like the very darkest part of the entire lay. And it's like, Happy Valentine's Day. So that's as close as I'm getting to a Valentine's Day special, I'm afraid to say. Let's see. Trying to get back to the chat real fast here. Yep. And yeah, Phil, they are very good about sending when you miss them. Yeah, yeah, pretty much an anti-Valentine's Day special. like this is why you're always going to be alone, Morgoth. This is why you're always going to be alone. Just a disgusting narcissist. All right, we are on step 10. We're moving along. So I need 2 of these flat 4 pegs. 1 of the slightly taller. And I know there's technical terms for these things. Probably should learn them. And 2 of these. Thank you, Nate. I don't remember which one today's was because, of course, I typically record a few at a time. Sorry, I'm trying to do this on camera. All right. I'm glad to think that I can contribute to your sanity. Typically, I contribute to people's insanity, so that's an improvement. All right. There we go. So sort of the body, if you will, of the balrog is complete, kind of the middle of his torso, I think. All right, now looks like we put this guy up top here. What color is your front circle door going to be? Oh, it'll have to be something more cheery than black. I mean, you know, I'm often described as moody, but I probably it's a happy Shire game. I'd like to think that black isn't even an option, frankly. Like, sorry, you're a hobbit. You're not allowed to be this much of an emo. You must have a happier door. Okay. If the Cure were made up of hobbits. It's not going to match my Caligon. Not everything has to match my Caligon. Car stuff. I know there's another piece in here. I know there is. Where is it? Where are you? There it is. And then 2 more of the little peg pieces. These are not the doubles, but the singles. It's forcing me to be calm. And to just patient and take my time. Which those of you who know me will know is no easy task. I know. Mirowina, if you were here last time, you also got to see that under Gandalf's hat, if I can, I'm not going to try to risk it. You actually, there's a pink one. It looks like it's his brain. Emo Baggins. All right. Let's see. So these two, and these two. So each one of these, we take one of these, put this little guy on top, and then this. We do that twice. Well, hello, Stephen, and helping you prep for moving. My goodness, that is a task. All right, so now I have to figure out where to put these guys. It looks like you put them on the gray, and you put them with the single opposite the. There we go, like this. Ah, I think as I'm assembling this, that those are going to be his little hands, and these would be like maybe where the wings get mounted. That's just a hunch. I could be totally wrong. All right, so now we set that assembly aside. Trying to figure out how to get everything still in camera view. So we'll put him over here. All right. So next up, it looks like we're building some sort of fiery thing because look, we get all the little orange and red pieces. All right, so we start with a single 4 peg and a red little guy. Real easy. Okay, then we need another one of those. And a yellow on top of that. And then we need a yellow, black 4 peg, and 2 double. Okay, so we start with the black base, put these guys here, put this one on top, then, aha. Oh, this must be some sort of articulated wing thing. And now it's time for something completely different. This reminds me of you gearing up to take out a group of mobs on Lotro with a precise care and order. So if I were fellowshipping with you, Bree Crossroads, you would be just racing in, absolutely oblivious to the danger, and then I would be using my limited resurrection skills to save you. All right. Hmm. I need to figure out how to zoom in more, even more tightly when I'm building like this, but then, yeah, I'll have to figure that out. All right. Yes, proud of it. That's true. I wouldn't revive you. Why bother? You're never going to learn your lesson. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4 of these little red bits. And it looks like we put them on with the slope side facing this direction. Oh, Lotro. That's going to be so much fun. I'm really looking forward to doing that. I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to do Lotro in a way that is, well, let's just say I love Corey. I don't want to, I've actually not hardly ever watched his streams because I'm busy doing my podcast, but the few times I have, what I want to make sure is that I don't like, you know, imitate him. Sort of like when we started the PPP, my first thought was, Corey's really good at this. I don't want to try to imitate him. Like I don't want to just be like B grade Corey. So I'm looking at different ways of making that story, come to life. All right. Ooh, this is his tail. This is his like dragony, dinosaur sort of tail of flame. Okay. That must be a very ancient computer indeed, because Lotro's system requirements are not especially high. Man of the West here is asking when I die from green mobs. Green mobs! Green mobs. That's right. I wasn't going to bring that up, but if you want to acknowledge that you were killed by a bunch of green mobs because you weren't paying attention, well, you're more than welcome to tell people that. Okay, so here we go. This is the tail of the balrog. And then it looks like we're going to build up the torso a little higher now. The one person not allowed to yeet. That is correct. Oh, Moria. The long dark of Moria. It's in Lotro. Moria. I just I just want a proper map of Moria. That's all I want is a proper map. All right. The Balrog does have wings. The question is whether I'm going to figure out how to build it without them. Or will I just give in to the inevitable and think, whatever. They're metaphorical wings to me. All right, so here's where we're at so far. The height of the Balrog continues. Lurking around corners of digital buildings. All right, so now we're going to get some stuff that's going to probably go in the core here. It looks like these two are just a little stack. I think that's why they make it these silly colors so that we know that these will not be exterior pieces. Like, oh, the little Balrog with the pink accessory. All right. The Muma kill. Okay, yep, sure enough. I wonder, so it's the Balrog's brain just like it was Gandalf's brain on Tuesday. Okay. Making some progress. I'm feeling like I'm moving along nicely here. All right. We figured it meant brain last time because that's where it was in Gandalf's build, kind of right below the hat. All right. Accept the challenge. If I can only figure out as I'm building, like, oh no, I'm building the wings. Oh no, I must stop. All right. Next up, I have to build two little sub-assemblies. And I'm waiting for Slice to make the inappropriate comment. All right. All right, so this one. Okay, so we start with this little guy. And we put the tan piece in. And again, telling me this part's going to be internal, obviously. That we're not going to see green on the build of the Balrog. Okay. And do that twice. So I am one of the things that's going to be funny as we're doing this is you're going to see me sort of leveling up my skills to take on those bigger challenges. Like right now, I'm building these brickheads because it's been a while since I built complicated Legos. In fact, I was telling folks on Tuesday night that it was in, well, it's almost 6 years ago. It would be 6 years ago in June. So 5.5 years ago in for the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, my son and I built the Saturn V and then built the LEM, the Lunar Landing Module. That was the last time I built anything really complicated. So building the Rivendell set and the Barad-dûr set lit too, because I'm using the Light My Bricks 2.0 kits with those. Those are going to require that I level up my skills first. And it's the same with the Warhammer stuff. I'll pull them out and we'll take a look at those models tonight and sort of see the game, not the game itself, but see the models. But I'm going to have to take some off camera time to like paint some older models that I don't care about because I haven't done this in like 15 years. Zombie Lego, leveling up my skills, taking bigger challenges. Yes, that's correct. Very nerdy way of saying that. All right. You're going to have to put points in Lego building. All right, so these guys go on the side. Oh, these are probably wing mounts. Maybe, or their arm. I don't know. We're going to find out. Okay, and then we put the big a zombie balrog. Well, he wouldn't be very fast, at least. Well, the old traditional zombies. I guess these days, zombie movies have them flying around at quite rapid speed. All right. So let's see. We're building this little dude in the middle. This guy right behind him. One peg left at each corner. And when you say the Saturn V, Rebecca, I'm assuming you mean the actual one and not the Lego model, which is still mind-bogglingly huge for a Lego model. I can't imagine. I mean, it's things are huge. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. All right. Let's see what's up next with this next little build. I need two of these pieces. Not two of the same. They need to be two opposite ones. Good. And then I need this piece and this piece. So the assembly has me doing this. And then this cool little look there. All right. And then that goes right here on the front of the balrog. Maybe this is his lower jaw, perhaps. Wait, am I putting it wrong? I definitely got that wrong. Hold on. No, got that right. Oh, okay. Just turn it sideways. Yeah. So it's not his goatee. That's for sure. All right. I'm going to start with this. Oh, am I building wings now? No, I'm building the rest of his face. Okay. I don't mind building his face. Let's give the Balrog a face. Makes me think of C.S. Lewis's book, Till We Have Faces. Since we don't have them yet. Okay. There it is. All right. Next up are one of each of these pieces, these little pieces here, but they go in a position that I wouldn't have thought of. Let's see. Trying to figure out how this actually goes, and it looks like it's underneath. Yep. That's how it goes. So underneath, like that. Oh, and then we need two more pieces just like that. The black on the black leather table is not working very well. Let's see. So Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To answer your question, Katie, yes. All right, and two single pegs. right here. Hmm. Oh, what happened here? Okay. Did my screen go out at all in that case? Apparently by not moving the mouse for a while, my screensaver turned on, which, well, that's embarrassing and shouldn't have happened. Okay. Thank you, Katie. Appreciate that. That's good to know. All right. We're making Balrog face here. Oh, these are his eyes. Okay. Oh, nobody needs Alan's thinking voice in any way, shape, or form. Ooh, that would be nice, Amanda. A model of the two trees. That might be something once I've leveled up my skills to figure out how to build, without a an actual kit. Okay. So turn this way. What big eyes you have. All the better to see you with, Gandalf. Hmm. All right. I think. Yes. Yes. Now let's put his face on. Oh, this is suitably creepy. I like the teeth. Oh, fun times. All right. Oh, I said consummate V's. There was a man. There was a dragon man. All right. All right. Now I'm going to set this aside. Let's see what's next. Oh, this looks fun. Little fiddly bits. I always like the fiddly bits. All right. So I need to get two of these. One of these. One of these. Two of these. One of these. One of these. One of these. One of these. And one of these. All right. I got all the little bits that I need for this fiddly thing. Eyebrows like a flaming caterpillar. Ah, Katie. Always like the fiddly bits. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Sorry, didn't mean to. I need to like maybe get some sort of a light colored mat that I can put when I'm using dark pieces, but I'll try to do this in front of the instruction manual. Little studs. Little studs. That's if you actually call them that, that would be kind of sad. All right. Wait, that doesn't work. Oh, this way. Little studs. Yeah, rapper name. Okay. And then we do the single studs. And this funky piece, don't even know what to call this. Is this like a wedge? And then this piece. Okay. Is this like his shoe? Did we just literally make his shoe or his foot? His shoe. All right. Yeah, I think we did. Yeah. It's like everywhere you go, he's got sparks coming from the bottom of his shoes there. Homestar Runner. Well, anytime I get a chance to talk about consummate V's, burning it in the countryside. Man, I missed that show. Well, that web show. I know it's still around. I just haven't watched it in forever. It's funny because that's such an inadvertent time machine because it's in Flash, or it was originally in Flash. So, all right. What size shoe do you think a Balrog wears? 72 quadruple F would be my thought. All right, Balrog have tap shoes. I like that. You shall not pass. No, but I can dance. All right. And Burninating the Wizard. Burninating the Peasants. And now, of course, when I forget the opening script, I can just say line. Everybody loves Homestar. All right. Oh, there's Stonebridge Tunnel Cave. Do the lesser Valar, like Vaire and Vana and Este, actually do anything? Some of them do. Vaire, you don't see her in too many of the published stuff, but she plays a big role in the story of Miriel after her sort of like, nah, maybe I don't want to come back. I mean, really, why would I want to come back? My son's a jerk. All right. Uh, and yes, I just said that. Plus, my husband went and got married. I mean, but he only did that because she didn't come back. Okay, now we're getting the more fun bits. Oh, hey, it's Balrog of Morgoth. All right. So looks like he's getting little flamey bits of hair, which is fun. How does the Balrog get a haircut? Very carefully. All right. Oh yeah, we're gonna build him with no wings, of course. So the good news is we'll be done a lot earlier. Then I can get into the Games Workshop stuff. All right, so one of these, two of these, and four more of these cool little red clear pieces. Ah, sorry, folks. I know I fixed that. I know I did. Yeah, I'll feel better about this if I turn my own camera off while I film. I'm back. All right. That is beginning to get me a little bit on the frustrated side. All right. Let's see here. So we're going to take this, put this guy here, and here. So it's nice and uneven, right? So it's sort of asymmetrical. This is a clever little way that they've had me build it so that the little red bits are more flamey, more random looking than like, parts in his hair. All right. There we go. That's the fire hat. Nate, you might very well have seen a Picard maneuver when I sat down. All right. All right, now we're building some stuff, it looks like, on the side. So again, no wings yet. No wings yet. Huh. Okay, so setting them aside and building this little subassembly. The last of the clear plastic pieces. The last of these two. Both of these two. And a 4x4. And two 4-peg flats. All right. Here we go. Let's assemble this. I think I got that. Okay, then this up here. And again, some more sort of random flamey bits, which I'm liking. I'm liking very much. I'm also liking that this is like there's going to be time left for me to get into the Games Workshop stuff, but this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would, and I'm sorry. All right. Oh, this goes on his back. Okay. So looks like it goes this way. Yep. There we go. So the flame goes down his back as well. All right. I was thinking the same thing about flaming red hair. I like the articulating tail. I think it needs one more little segment though. All right. His shoes though are absolute killer. Like I want a pair of these. Look at that. Who wouldn't want a pair of flaming shoes? I apologized, Katie. I never apologize. All right. Just for bad puns. That's all. All right. So now putting this on the other side. Now, what am I building next? I want to make sure that I'm not building his wings. Oh, I'm building his wings. If I or are those more of his? Okay, no, these are not his wings. This is sort of his like bull horns, right? So I'm building the bull horns. Oh, but you know what I did do? I included the little hinges for the wings. I'm going to leave them off. So, all right, let's build the those horns. All right. Let's take a look. So, to do that, I want to start with one of these and one of these. And then one of these. And then, oh, this is fun. Okay. One of these big pieces here. Sorry, I keep doing it close to the chest where where you can't see it. I don't mean to do that. So, all right. Then I need to do what I need is a like an actual camera operator. All right. Smoky wings. Now I'm hungry. I haven't had dinner yet, so I don't know, maybe I can get some smoky wings someplace. Okay. I like the way these are taking shape. Is it the Bakshi, the animated Balrog from the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings with the furry slippers? That dude, man. I'm telling you. Um, I'm gonna try something here. All right, hold on. Because those of you who have never seen that really need to see that. So give me a moment. Ralph Bakshi Balrog images. Okay, that might work. Open link in new tab. No, not open link, open image. Thank you very much. Actually, just save image. Because then I'm going to. Oh, it's too tiny. I was going to try to show you like a share screen thing. But let's see. Maybe I can do. Hold on. I'm going to try this. Kitty, don't break anything. Don't break anything. Oh, image. There we go. All right. There we go. That image right there, the body of a retired, I don't know, wrestler, the the, the slippers of Sasquatch, the wings of Mothra, and yes, in this one, despite the fact that he is only supposed to have wings of shadow and metaphor, he actually flies. It's so bad. All right. How can I remove that monstrosity? Oh, that's a cool little feature. Thank you, Restream. All right. Coming back to this build. She's like, please don't break anything. Please, please, please. Yes. Um, actually, Studio Labs, I'm working with Restream, but I'll take a look at Studio Labs and see. Um, it's my cousin that I don't talk about. Oh, yeah, it's really pretty funny stuff. All right, let me put that back away. All right, where were we? All right, we're on step 49, step 50. So now we get to 51. So I need two of these little guys. Ah, spacers. I see what those are. Those are little spacers to make the curve. Then we need one of these, one of these, one of these. How does this little assembly work? All right. So take it like that. Okay. Then put that here. Aha. And I do that a second time. There is this horn. And it looks like I put that on here. Oh. Oh, Studio Labs, of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was thinking of Streamlabs. I got you mixed up. Yeah, Studio Labs. I've been there. It's very nice. You were there with me. All right. That was such a cool event. How many of you had a chance to watch those little videos that Corey did on Rings of Power, um, where many of us got to join and do our little opinions on some of the stuff from season 2? That was a lot of fun. All right, coming back to do the other horn because nobody wants to leave him with a single horn. Again, I'm waiting for Slice to make the joke. Festito Cologne. Oh, that was great. That was great. Festito cologne. I'm thinking how that's pretty much, you know, the story of my pronunciation life in Tolkien is things like Festito cologne and Danny Quetel. Two more. We're getting pretty close, I think, since we're not going to be doing the wings. I'm very thrilled about building a wingless balrog. Though the completionist in me is going to struggle. The completionist that says you can't leave parts on the table. Like you can't. That's not okay. But the Tolkien pedant in me is like that's not only is that okay, it's required. All right. Oh yeah, there we go. I'm liking this. Look at that dude. He's, I don't know, monstrously cute or cute monstrous. I don't know. Something. But we're not done yet. I don't think we're done yet, even without the wings. No, okay, so we're not done. So we got um so that goes on the back side. Oh, okay, sort of a it's how the yeah, to make the horns look a little more real. Maybe extend the tail. There you go. Use the Gandalf figure to beat the wings off. Did well, I would not. I can't copy Matt. That's I'm not going to copy Matt. Maybe I won't copy Matt. I don't know. Hurl those wings across the room. All right, getting there. Feeling like I'm getting there. All right. Hmm. These are the little bits that will eventually enable the wings, and I think I'm going to skip the next step. So I'll just put these in here. These little sort of dowel-shaped pieces. Oops. Yes, Brandon, it is a very tough one. When the pedant and the completionist clash, it is nobody wants to be here for that. I assure you. Actually, you all probably do want to be here for that. All right. The next step does appear to be building wings, which I shan't do. So I'm skipping the wing bits. I think we're virtually done because I'm skipping the wings. Now, he just has in according to the illustration, he has the one whip, but why would they give me one whip? Why would they give me two whips if he wasn't supposed to wield them both? That's the way I look at it. The double whip Balrog. There is a joke in there somewhere. I'm just not sure if I can say it. Um, and then I need to build the base for him to stand on with his massive shoes. And so many extra parts because I didn't build the wings. All right. One of these. One of these. Oh, I'm too far away. So one of these, and flat. One of these. All right. All these parts that I don't need. Okay, let's build this base. Ta-da! I love how Lego like celebrates with you. Right? Here's just the illustrations as you're building a step, but when you're done, ha! Little stars and everything. Okay, and yep. Oh, Oh, the shoe came off. All right. There we go. The balrog. The wingless balrog, as they should be, is complete. Instead of doing the "you shall not pass," I feel like saying something like, I don't know, something like from Firefly, right? I think we should. No, I can't. I'm totally blanking. I'm totally blanking. Um, I think yeah, we'll call this your doom, of course, as a punchline, but I can't remember it. I can't remember how it opens. Help me, Katie. Help me. The lag is terrible. Yeah. Uh, I think we shall call this. I think I'll call it your doom. Curse you and your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Oh well. Anyway, thank you for bearing with me last week and for bearing with me this week as I built the very, very cool. There he is in the main camera over there. Yes. Ooh, artist, good. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Yes, this is a. I'll do them in. Yes, this is a fertile land, and we will thrive. We will rule over all this land, and we shall call it this land. I think we should call it your grave. Ah, curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. All right, that was fun. Give me a second here as I prepare the next thing for this evening. All right, everybody, I have returned. I actually had to zoom out the camera, so now you got my little cheat guides. Did you know? Did you see that these little things here were the corners so that I knew where to put the Legos. um, but now I'm just going to move them out of the way. We need the Monty Python intermission music always. I wonder now that I'll find some nice royalty free intermission music that I can use. What's such a me thing, Katie? Oh, the little markers to help me, figure out what the framing is like. Yeah. All right. So, Prancing Pony plays in a theatrical sense. To be or not to be, that is the question. I don't remember anything else. All right. So, for those of you who don't know, Games Workshop is a company that has been making these tabletop strategy games, tabletop miniature games forever. And I've been playing Warhammer 40K since 98, I think it was. And earlier, for those who weren't here, I showed one of my models. So back then, these little guys, they're not huge. Let me see. I wonder if there we go. So what you do is you get these little miniatures and you paint them up. Do the little basing and everything, and then you move them on the table. They have an ability to move a certain distance, and then they have weapon skill and ballistic skill, strength and toughness, a number of wounds, and you simulate battle that way. So um, the idea of that has been translated from the grim darkness of the future where there is only war, which is the 40K setting. There's also a Warhammer Fantasy setting. That same company, Games Workshop, worked with the Lord of the Rings all the way back when the Jackson films came out, and I still have some of those older models, to make a Lord of the Rings tabletop skirmish game. Okay. So that's the idea behind it. And this is the most recent box set. This is the War of the Rohirrim, the Battle of Edoras. So we're going to go ahead and open this up and see what we get in this. These are big sets. So this is designed to be able to actually play the game pretty much out of the box. Well, once you build and paint the miniatures. So let's take a look. Nice. Okay. Oh, it's cool. Little backdrop art from the cover. Now, this is intimidating. And I'm sure there's some of you going, what? um, Maybe we'll have time to build one tonight. I hope we do. To build, not paint. That's really, really hard to do. Each of these, it looks like, as I'm looking at this, it looks like each of these sprues will have probably 2 to 3 models in them. And the idea is that eventually you'll make an entire army. Should have gotten a picture of that. I wonder if there's one in here. Oh, look, horses. We all like horses. Do I have time to do that? If you're talking about building a single model, yeah, I'll just cut. It won't take years. I promise you it won't take years. I love this. There's even terrain pieces, which will be a lot of fun. Look at that. I get to paint like the little Rohirric emblems and make a little thatched roof, and it's going to be great. Rulers, because you have to use that for things like distance. All right. So here's where the core of the stuff comes. The rule book. The rules manual is basically how you play the game. And I'm going to see if I can find some images. Here we go. So here on the main screen is an image of what some of these guys are going to look like once I finish painting them. Well, they won't look that good. And then, you put them on a field and that's what it'll look like. You put them on a table. And so you end up with this really very cool look, where you have your foes playing, let's say, orcs, and you've got, or Dunlendings in this case, and then you set up with your Rohirrim, and you make your moves, and you roll your dice, and it is just absolutely fun. Yes, thatched roof cottages. Absolutely. So let's see. I'm going to grab another book real quick because this might help us for the armies of the Lord of the Rings. So that rule book gives you the basics. The armies of the Lord of the Rings kind of gives you the details about each particular model, like what they can do on the battlefield. So we'll eventually get to the playing aspect of it, but really probably not on PPP plays, because you typically play the game on a 4x6 foot table, and you definitely have to play it with another person. It's not a solitaire game, and you wouldn't be able to really do it over the internet. But how fun is it going to be to actually build some of these and talk through Rohan, talk through the history of the Rohirrim and the Eotheod and the Northmen before that, to talk about the time period set in the War of the Rohirrim, and to talk about the Dunlendings and all of that. So it's going to be fantastic. Let me see about what's in these. What's in these? Oh, okay. So this is just a play mat. So it's in case you don't want to build a table that looks like, a plane or a field, we can do that. But let me see what's in this other envelope. Okay, so these are scenarios. So this does have everything you need to play out of the box. So it's got a quick reference guide that tells you, what the turn looks like. and like move and activate and shoot and then fight. And there's things like courage and intelligence and cavalry charges and all of that fun stuff. Going to really enjoy this. And then here is where you have some instructions on how to assemble them. So in this case, we've got, here's some great pictures of them, right? So we've got what a standard warrior of Rohan is going to look like. And then it gives them all, gives us all the stats. And then maybe Hama, the Prince of Rohan, right? So his stats are going to be better. He's going to cost more points on the field, that kind of thing. But I like that there's instructions in here on how to build. So this should make things a little bit easier. I'm going to try to find a simple one. Okay, this could be interesting. Do I have time to actually try to build one of these guys today? Or at least start that? Just don't call him a horse boy. Yeah, the lore discussions I think are going to be a lot of fun while I'm building these. Like, if I'm building right now, I have all the. Oh, I should show you the other ones. These are so cool. So I think I mentioned this one last week. So the basic set comes with a certain number of warriors of Rohan. It comes with Hama and Haleth, the princes of Rohan, that you can build both the mounted and on foot version. And then it also comes with the bad guys, right? So you get Wolf, you get General Targ, and you get all the hill tribesmen. And then you also get some terrain pieces like the Rohan house. Well, thank you, Timothy. Appreciate that. That's very kind of you. I'm really excited to see what this does. I'm just looking forward to having fun, and it's going to be an interesting tech challenge next up to try to do some streaming of video games. The paint is not included. You have to buy the paint separately. You buy all the crafting supplies. So, and basically you assemble, the way I found it works best is to assemble pretty much an entire squad or army first. So if let's say I'm going to build all of the hill tribesmen, right? And then once I've built all of them and, file down all the rough bits and everything, I then would prime the entire group as a group. Like I'd put them on, oftentimes I would use just a flat piece of cardboard and tape the model down or blue stick the model down and then spray prime all of them. And then once that's done, you bring them in and then you paint a base layer on each, and then you just layer up each one. You paint each step of the way. And it's going to be nice and fun and very relaxing. I remember when I did this back in the day, I would oftentimes take a little guy like, let's say this dude, the Emperor's Champion from the Black Templars. And, it would take me a couple hours to paint him properly, but, he's a lead character, so he's got a lot of detail. These characters, for the most part, are going to be pretty easy to paint up. They'll probably take me, once I'm back up to speed, probably take me just a few minutes each. But the main characters, right? So there are special models for Helm Hammerhand, the Wraith of the Hornburg, Hera, the Bride of Death. And then, of course, there's also extra bad guys. Lord Thorn of the Wold. I suppose that's a spoiler if you haven't seen the movie as to him being a bad guy. And Freka, Lord of the West March, who is wide in the belt, as Tolkien said. And then fun, they recently released this one as well. This little set, if you've seen the films, you know who these are. Shank, Rot, and the Snow Troll. Shank and Rot are voiced by Dominic Monaghan and Billy Boyd. So it was a lot of fun to hear them. But yeah, let me see about building, like showing you what it's like to build a simple one. All right. So I've got some tools here. I've got some plastic glue. I've got some files. I've got some tweezers if I need them, clippers, a knife, and a little mold line removal tool. So these are all things that, when you're into the hobby, you end up doing all of this. So let's see if I can find a simple sprue to sort of show you how this goes. All right, so first off, let me just cut. Okay. So if I'm looking at this sprue, let me zoom in a little bit more now that I'm not looking at the whole box. Whoa, wrong way. All right. There we go. Um, I think, yeah, I think these guys go together. I may be wrong. Wouldn't that be fun if my first time building one is completely wrong? So you use these little clippers, these little flat edge clippers, and you use the flat edge against the model, and you just clip your way around where it's attached to the sprue. Okay, so you've got a piece here, and then it looks like, yeah, looks like I've got the right robe here, right, part of his outfit. Now, obviously, I'm not going to take time to clip out from the sprue every one of these models. I'll do that off camera before I do any painting, and then, or before I, do some building. But you'll get to see plenty of building, plenty of painting. Now I need to check what other. There's got to be a head somewhere, right? Oh, sprue. It's SPRUE, a plastic sprue. That's the thing or the frame on which the models are attached. That's a good question. All right. Let's take a look real quick. So I'm building a warrior of Rohan, and this appears to be a dude with a bow. So that's going to be. Ah, so looks like Warrior 11 is who I've picked. 79 and 80. So then I need 81 and 82. So you can't see that. There's no way you'd be able to see it. It's too tiny. But there are small indicators on the frame, that is the sprue, to show you which pieces are which. And yes, they are terribly tiny. I had better vision when I did this the first time. All right. So let's see. Let's see if I can zoom in even tighter. I don't think, no, that's as far as it can go. I'm looking at, yeah, tonight's word is sprue. Shall prove it my knife. All right. Did I pull the wrong? No, I did not. I might have. I did. I pulled the wrong cloak. All right, let me get the right cloak. Okay. All right. That's better. All right. So now, if I'm doing this properly, which of course I'm going to do, is I'll also get in here with the knife, the X-Acto knife, and trim away the little excess bits that were left over from cutting it off the sprue. So you can see, well, you probably can't, but there's tiny little bits that you want to smooth out. Do I have anybody here in tonight's stream? I know that there are a few of you that do this. So like in this case, I'll probably grab a, oh, look at that. Thank you for pulling up that, that word nerdery. Yeah, there's probably not a lot. I get the feeling that it is a newer construction word, that there's not a lot of like etymological. It doesn't come from some Proto-Indo-European Roots. I could be wrong. So in this case, now I'm using the files to smooth down the bits that were attached to this to the sprue. All right, so now that's good. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other part because they're about to get glued together, and you really only want to glue them together after you've smoothed out those bits. And this is why obviously I won't be doing this much work on screen, right? We'll do some building, but it'll mostly be painting. I think that'll be more fun because you'll get to see more progress. This is right now very monochrome, you know. All right, let me take a look real quick. All right. Okay. Just going to put a little bit of the glue on the parts that are going to touch together. Okay. There we go. And I'll hold that together for a little bit. Sort of accelerate the process by blowing on it a little bit. There is actually an accelerant that you can use, but it kind of tends to melt the plastic. So, all right, that's done. So now I'm going to build, while those two are drawing, I'm going to put the tiny little head together and face part. My goodness, these are tiny. I don't even know how I'm going to show you these. um, it's going to be too small to even maybe if I use the tweezers and hold it in front of the camera. Oh, and once again, my screensaver went on. Let's see if I swap the cameras. Uh-oh. Did it freeze? Um, have I frozen here? I have frozen. All right. I got a display saying that your Elgato face cam stopped working unexpectedly. Darn right that was unexpected. All right. Um, so if I swap the cameras so that you can see this, I don't know how closely this can focus. And the answer is not that closely. I'll have to get a really close up picture and post it to, or maybe, show it as a thing. But that's the helmet. I'm going to have to paint that little guy. I just want to know why it had to freeze me in my looking down position so that the um, aged head, the thinning hair could be so visible. I'm really grateful for that. Thank you, Elgato Facecam. I will say though, for the most part, I really like my Elgato equipment. I use this is an Elgato Facecam Pro, and then the camera that is doing the top down stuff is a Canon, I don't know, EOS 50 something, I think. Um, but then I have Elgato key light airs and an Elgato mini light. I'm using all the Elgato stands and brackets. The really nice, I love their mic arm. Now, this is not an Elgato mic. I use a proper mic for that. It's the Electro Voice RE20. But I really definitely like the rest of the equipment. But boy, that was disappointing to have it not work. Now, gonna have to use the tweezers for sure in this assembly. So let me. Oh, hold on. I don't have that smoothed out the way I need to. So one of the things that you're going to find as we do this is that I'm learning what works and what doesn't on a live stream. And this is probably a little too slow. I need to probably do the painting rather than this part. So I'm going to finish this guy, and then we'll chat a bit before we're wrapping up. Since we're, nearing the 2 hour mark. We're at the hour-and-a-half mark right now. Let's see. Sorry, this is so tiny. There we go. So now, well, I'm afraid to do anything with this. I wonder if the Canon can focus a little closer. The answer is no. The answer is definitely no. There we go. How close? So now you can see that I've basically glued the face part of the helmet under the helmet. And now I get to glue that intact head onto the body. So put a little glue. You don't want to use too much glue. And yes, the joy of minis. I'm really looking forward to doing these. Oh boy. I've done a better job of assembling before. Ah, face falling apart. Okay, well, that went poorly. Again, I shouldn't be surprised, though. It's been a very long time since I've done this. Okay. All right. I think I finally got it. Yeah, you do this maybe not 8 million times, but you do it an awful lot. Yeah, you do it a lot. And there we go. So now we can see him a little bit better, right? So now the head is assembled and on him. Yeah, the idea is that you build the army and then you prime it and then you paint it and you do the basing. So like when I showed you on these, you can see that what I do is I'll use a different kind of glue for the basing, and you use little dry grass, little stones, little gravel that you buy packs of, so that it looks a little bit more realistic. But you can do all sorts of different kind of basing. Like I did an army once that was wearing like heavy winter clothes, and I used like a snow base for an Imperial Guard army at one point. These guys, I'll just do a traditional, plains, grassy field sort of base. Yeah, I agree with that one, Timothy, because this is harder than the 40K models by far. That's so tiny. Um, but yeah, it's definitely twisted sense of humor. Let's see. So we're almost done with this. We've got just a couple more pieces. Yeah, just actually two more pieces. So I'm going to clip out parts 84 and 83. So it looks like it's his arm, perhaps. 84 and 83. Here's 83. Oh, it's like his quiver. So he must be reaching back for another arrow. I think that's the pose they've got him in. And 84. There we go. Yep, it's his arm. All right. So we'll finish building this guy, and then we'll put this to bed for now. And of course, as I'm doing these, whatever works is what works. And if we find out that this is not something that folks enjoy, then we'll just maybe just do the painting part. Totally fine. Um, okay, so yeah, just trim off the little bits. Now I don't always, try to go for like a super clean, get rid of all the mold lines on models this tiny, but I will on the headline guys, right? Like Helm, I'm going to make sure that that's built really, really properly. But yeah, let's go ahead and put these pieces together. Yeah, I definitely used to have better vision, or these things used to be a lot bigger. I mean, wow. All right, we're almost done here. Yeah, I think. Sorry, I keep bumping into the microphone with my glasses. So, oops, I took this out of frame. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just holding this in place while the glue starts to. Yeah, they are definitely smaller scale than 40K. I'm finding that to be. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's going to harden in place. And then I got to figure out where. So it tells me, interestingly enough, like where it even suggests where to put the glue on the model. The little yellow is where to put the glue, which is kind of an interesting little, tip. Um, Gollum, just like when he played Gollum. That was awful. That was so bad. All right. Oh, I see where this goes. There's a spot for him. Ooh. Actually going to put a little bit of extra glue on this guy. Tiny bits. Okay. And all right, one more piece. Ah. Oh boy, this may be more than I can do. Let's find out. There we go. So now I hold this in place while the glue dries. These guys thankfully do not come with wings. Let's see. Let me scroll up. I've missed a lot of chat lately, so let me scroll back up. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Pand, for the etymology from Dutch spreur. I'm glad folks are enjoying this because I have to admit I'm not sure that I would enjoy watching this. So I'm really grateful you do. Yeah, Dub, I think you're absolutely right. Just knowing this, I mean, I'm not going to compare these to the Terminators because those are big characters. But if I compare this to a Space Marine, he's definitely a tiny bit smaller. Not a lot smaller though. Feels a lot smaller. This, by the way, is a mocked up Emperor's Champion back when they didn't have them. When they released the Black Templars in 1999 in a codex, they didn't have any specific models for an Emperor's Champion. So this was some Dark Angels character. I don't remember who he was. I'd use green stuff to make a Templar cross for his shoulder pad. I had to make more green stuff to cover up all the Dark Angels sigils and things. Um, and then I did find eventually a Templar backpack, but yeah. uh, let's see. Just checking. Yes, it was Groundhog Day of Alan dying over and over again. Oh, that game was so bad. Ah, there's a slice. Um, Katie, you've asked how late I'm going tonight. I was planning on going till 8 my time Pacific, so another 20 minutes if I can. But I may wrap up fairly soon. Painting, Nate, is actually much more fun than you might think. I'm looking forward uh, to doing that when these guys are ready. All right. All right, there's one other piece to build with it, and that is the base. So these bases are really central to the game because they are really the defining characteristic of where the character is. So you put them in like base to base. If they're in base to base contact, then they can be in, fighting hand to hand as opposed to shooting. All right, so I'm going to put a little glue on his feet. And there we go. So once that's dried, I'll hold that up to the camera. But we're gonna call that for tonight. So I'm not building a whole bunch more of these. I think that's probably a little more than I can really subject you to willingly. Um, but maybe there's something else. Maybe there's something else to do real quick. Let's think. Let me think. I'm gonna be painting them under a magnifying glass, because at least the detailed ones. The general ones, I'll probably just use a technique where I do a single base layer and then do some dry brush for some detail, for some highlighting detail, and then maybe an ink wash to get some shadows, and then call it a day. And then the ones that I'll do the real detail work on are going to be, the named characters, the Helm and the Hera and stuff like that. Those characters I will use a magnifying glass and a specific light, that's like close up and things like that. So a Lego set I could finish. Let's see. Yeah, maybe. You know, Give me a minute here. I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to turn off the cameras here. All right. We are going to do an unexpected thing. Let me take a look at chat real quick and catch up what y'all were talking about while I was gone. Make sure that you're behaving yourselves. Actually, Katie, you may not know what I'm getting. I'm just getting one of the small ones. Um, as I'll do the bigger ones a later time. I was tempted, actually. I was tempted to get um, the book that is still unopened, but for now, I'm going to do something else. So I'm just going to tell you all something, just make a confession. So I never really got into, the movie collectible stuff. Um, Mostly because I've always been a books guy. So, that's why I have the bookshelf that you can see. Well, you can't really see because it's over there. I wonder if I can move. Well, you can only see part of it. Um, so the camera, the software does enable me to move some of that. Um, but the I've always been a books guy, so I never got into the movies thing. And part of it also was just I didn't have room. So when I knew that I was moving into this office and I was going to have more space, I was going to have an extra section of the bookshelf. I thought to myself, maybe I should look into some of these things. And then lo and behold, Weta was having a Black Friday sale, and I bought a few things. And I'm just going to open one of this. I've not opened any of them yet, so I'm going to open a small one, and we'll just call this the kind of the trial for Matham Mondays. But this is the smile of Samwise Gamgee. And I thought, it'd be cute to put these on the shelf and have a little hobbit village, if you will. So I do have a few others, but this is a specifically, you know, a location that warms my heart, thinking about Sam coming back from the Grey Havens. Um, I need to go get an X-Acto knife. Oh, wait, no, I don't. I'll just use my Games Workshop one. But yeah, I'm finally going to have a little bit of time. Let me turn on the other camera. Hold on a minute. There we go. All right. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to putting these together on the shelf and just kind of making a thing for it. Um, Even though, Edith, you are correct that collectibles are just things I have to lift up and dust under. Okay. Of course, it also means that I have to keep these boxes because, how am I gonna, maybe not for these small ones. Maybe for the little hobbit houses, I can just trust myself not to break them in a move. But there are some other ones. This is such a tiny little X-Acto knife because it's meant for the models. It's not really very. Yeah, I should have just gotten up and gotten my X-Acto knife. Anyway, let's see what this looks like. Okay, come on. So you're opening it with me. You get to be here when I see for the very first time the inside of styrofoam. This is tiny. Oh, this is so cute. Look at that. I love it. Oh, oops, there. Well, I'm back, said Sam. That moment was so good. And I love this. The detail in this is spectacular. Um, Nate, don't put ideas in her head. Do I give her gifts for years of service? This is the year of styrofoam. You used to have them in a display case. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. So I think they really are beautiful. And I wasn't going to get any of them. Okay. So here's the thing. Um, when I'd never bought any, not one Weta collectible. And in April of last year, so almost a year ago, they announced, and I saw it. I think Matt, Nerd of the Rings, posted a link to it. And it was that gorgeous King Theoden upon Snowmane. And it was a limited edition. And I thought, I'm never going to do this, but all right, fine. And it was way too much stinking money. Like, I'm never going to do that again. Limited editions? Oh, heck no. But I ordered it. And then it sat there all by itself because it's still in the process. I think it's still being shipped out. Never, it's not on my shelf yet. So I hadn't gotten any more. And then it just reminded me when I saw the Black Friday sale, I'm like, oh yeah, Theoden's coming. I need to look and see about some other ones. And these were so cute and so relatively affordable that I got quite a few little hobbit houses. And I thought, They're going to go so well on that shelf. So as you watch the TTT videos, so as you watch today's Tolkien Times over the coming weeks and months, you're going to see that shelf fill up with more and more good stuff. So let me scroll up and see what I've missed in the meantime. Does Alan give you gifts for years of service? No. I don't have any of the Weta statues. They are really beautiful. The detail. Good heavens, man. Hold on. I will figure this out before the next time. I will figure this. What's crazy is I told it to turn off the auto power feature. All right. Yeah, they really are. I was just thinking of that comment, Balrog of Morgoth. Um, they do such a good job of them. I wish I had more space, more room, especially for the environments. They're really stunning. And there are ones that I would have loved to have gotten, but they're out of production. They're no longer made, and it makes me kind of sad that I didn't collect these early on. Um, yeah, Katie, I'm so sorry, Alan. That's a great idea, though, and it was like 2 minutes ago, so I don't know what you were referring to. Might have been the gifts, in which case this is the year of styrofoam, and don't worry, next year will be the year of tissue paper. Um, The door at the end of the movie was yellow because it must have been the back door to Bag End. Actually, it's just down the hill. It works. I like that. The Grey Havens one is gorgeous. It's huge. It's another one of those special edition ones, though. It's massive. They just announced, and I did not get the limited edition one. They just announced an entire Edoras model that's gigantic. I did order the tiny little Megiceld one that is maybe like 6 or 8 inches, but um, who knows when that'll get here. What did I spoil? The surprise? Oh, the surprise of the year tissue paper. Um, I think I know which surprise you're talking about. Yeah, the File of Galadriel. I'm really hoping to get that one. There's quite a few there. Something small in the upper right corner. Oh, that's just the little silica gel. To keep it from getting humidity, getting moisture in there. Yep, good catch, Edith. Yep. The Elendil statue. Oh, the Elendil statue. That's another one that's limited that I'll never be able to get. So, yeah, a tour of my library is an option. That's something to do as well. I have to figure out how to do that camera wise. The Argonath bookends, the Fellowship. Yes, I have actually multiple sets of the bookends because they're so useful. And then the other day, 2 months ago, when I was moving, I'm going to leave this out. When I was packing up to move, I found something in one of my boxes, and I was really surprised that I still had it. So I'm going to go get that as well. All right. I'll be right back. Actually, let me turn off that other camera. There we go. And I'm trying to remember where I put this. So yeah, I'll be right back. All right, let's put the knife away. All right, so I am back, and what I wanted to show you was something that I unexpectedly found in a box in my garage. Who of you remembers lining up to buy the extended edition of Return of the King on its gazillion discs set? I'm sorry that the light's reflecting into plastic, but it is still sealed. For a minute, I thought, oh, I found gold. This has got to be, there's going to be collectors on eBay that'll pay, yeah, $40. So I'm just going to, at some point, open that up and have the Minas Tirith, little sculpture. It's a nice little thing. Anyway, we're getting close to the end of the stream. It's almost 8 o'clock. Um, yeah, I was really pleasantly surprised to find that. Um, yeah, maybe coming up we'll do some book stuff. In fact, I guess one last thing before I go. What anybody have anybody have a request for a book that they want me to pull out off the shelf and show so that you can actually see? um I don't know, maybe it's the the poetry volumes that just came out, or maybe one of the deluxe editions, or a signed book, or not Tolkien signed. I don't have that kind of budget. um uh, yeah, is there anything that anybody wants to see? Oh, Katie, you want to see the classic Children of Hurin? That is literally the crown jewel of my entire collection. So you're starting with the very top, with like the biggest prize of all of them. But all right, I'll be right back with that. All right, for this, I'm going to swap the camera here and zoom out a little bit. So this is the Super Deluxe Children of Hurin that came out. I don't remember when it came out, right around the time that Children of Hurin was released. And this was, I want to say there were 600. We'll find out. We'll open it. It might be 500. So the book itself comes in a a case, a velvet lined case. And the book itself is full bound in leather. It's not quarter bound. It's just completely leather bound volume with the helmet of Turin on the top, and it is a gorgeous helm. And you can see on the spine with the raised bits on the spine and the gilt with the Tolkien emblem on the back. And again, the box itself is velvet lined. And then you get the marbled end papers, of course, and the gold, the gold leaf on the pages, marbled end paper on both ends. What makes this particularly special, and the reason why I don't get it out very often, is that this is one of the truly limited editions. There's collector's editions, which are nice, and they have, maybe special illustrations, or they have other really nice features. But what makes this one so special is that this specially bound and slipcased edition of the Children of Hurin has been limited to 500 copies, with each one numbered and signed by the editor and artist. So this is copy number 66 of 500, signed by Christopher Tolkien and Alan Lee. And it really is. Katie went straight to the top of the list. She's like, show us the very best. And it is, other than that, of course, it is the Children of Hurin. I mean, it's the exact same book that you would get, print wise, with the original hardback. But it is my absolute favorite volume that I own. Yeah, it basically only comes out of this box maybe once every year or two. It is, as like anything with Christopher's signature on them, it's gone up in value enough that I don't really do much with it. This is definitely going to be the kind of one that I hand down to my kids. Annotating. Definitely not. Um, uh, so, on that note, thank you for joining me tonight. Again, this is just sort of an example of, I don't know what I'm going to do on these nights. I'm just going to do whatever. I mean, I might have a vague idea. I knew I wanted to start with either the little minis, which now that this is dried, we can show you once again that this is what was assembled from what, one, two, three, four, 6 pieces, 7 pieces. So it's not overly complicated. It's just really, really tiny. And then, I'll build a bunch of those and prime them, and then, we'll paint them on the show. So next week, the plan on Tuesday is to stream Lotro, but I know that looking to do some server changes. They're talking about doing a 64-bit server, and I don't know yet what's going on with that. I may wait a little bit on Lotro until they've made that move, but I may not because I could move the characters over. And what I'll do in that case is actually, if I do Lotro, start at the very beginning. You'll join me for character creation. We'll draft a little backstory for the character, come up with a good name, and then start whatever that character's backstory is for the beginning of Lord of the Rings Online. And for those of you who've played, you know what you're in for. It is just so much fun. I'm looking forward to playing that, to reading the incredible dialogue, incredible writing that the team at Lotro have done in writing their epic quests. Anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. Emo Baggins, I will let Emo Baggins go. I'll actually be surprised if Baggins is allowed. Something tells me that they. I just realized I'm looking at the stream now and I'm seeing my hands. Specific checklist order for transfers. Okay, okay. So I can go ahead and start. It's not a big deal for me to go ahead and start on the normal server on Landerval. Okay. So for those of you who do play the game, my characters and the PPP kinship are on the Landerval server, which is a US server. I don't know where we're going to be when the 64 bits come around, but we'll obviously let you all know that as soon as that's available. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. So Tuesday night, hopefully Lotro. If not, then some other video game. I'll stream Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor, or something like that, just for fun. I will not stream Gollum. I've gone through enough difficulty tonight. I think I need to hold that off. So thanks again, everybody. Really had a lot of fun tonight. And again, that's just what this is about. Just having fun. So we'll see you all next Tuesday. Bye for now.